Are you a derpy cat? Derpy cat. You're a derpy derper. Oh, it's kind of cold down here. Innocent wrapped. Hello, folks. Oh crap! I left my drills in the garage. Maybe I won't need them. Hey, Sunny 2.0. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, I wasn't able to print out the repair form, but I have placed the numbers on parts that need repairing. Number 1, sticking when pushing on button. Now let's take a look at that. Oh, it's that weird yellow. Oh. Oh. This one looks like it was rode hard and put away wet. Sticking when pushing on button. Now that came loose, darn it. Change color to blue. Oh, crap. Our puppy chewed this part off. Oh, it must be this one. Oh, yeah, this person. Yeah, they didn't have the under part. They just had this. Maryland. So they're swimming with their tails anyway. What is this particulate matter? Is that like some sort of... Oh, it's... It's definitely something. Let's see. Oh, where's my paper towel? There's some. I don't think you'll fit in that box, bud. Maybe when you were a kitten. Yeah, I mean, I still do these. It's mostly when I have, like, something to build, because I used to, well, like a expire 20, like as if this would expire. I guess it is ethanol. I guess it could expire. This is an older one. I should probably check. USB micro tariff. Yeah, I think this was like a Forza Horizon controller or something. Oh, man. I didn't turn on my AC until yesterday, but now it's like cold down here in the basement. Alright, let's see. Game controller properties, and it's the same thing since 1995. A, B, okay, that works. Up, down, left, right. Looks like everything worked except for the buttons that are chewed off. Sticking when pushing on button. Well, looks like they might have gotten some sticky residue in it. So now I'm a maid. She's gone from suck to blow. This is like gonna be one of those fake restoration channels where they like buy a knockoff Chinese console and cover it with mud and drill holes in the back and be like, look what we found. Can we fix it? Yeah, ethanol doesn't... Actually, yeah, that's true. The shelf life of ethanol isn't actually that long. That's why you're not supposed to use... Well, I always buy like premium gasoline for my gas tools. That way I can leave it in there in the winter and it doesn't matter. She's gone from suck to blow. That's the same combination I have on my luggage. What is it? I fed you. Ah, Bud's being a whiny wiener. Yeah, whatever. This is an enlisted wall. Bud, what is your problem? Smells like a smoke shop. I am your roommate's cousin's brother-in-law. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing, which is what you are about to become. I don't know if it's... Well, it does kind of smell like a vape, but there's like some particulate matter, but it's not... What? Are you a vape cat? I bought 10 broken Nintendo Switches. Can I fix them? What is it? Oh, really? Why are you sad? You slept most of the day. Come here. Oh, big cat. Oh, look how big you are. You are big. You are the biggest cat in the world. All right, go up there. Oh, it was? I never noticed that. I haven't watched that movie in many years. God willing, we all meet in Spaceballs 2. The search for more money. No, I will give her back her old nose. Was that the chick from Short Circuit or Breakfast Club? No, Short Circuit was Ali Sheedy who was in. Oh yeah, Ali Sheedy was in Short Circuit and Breakfast Club, and the girl in was Daphne something in Spaceballs. I will give her back her old nose. Oh, bud, stop. Stop destroying that. Stop it. You have, stop. You have a perfectly good scratching post. You don't need to destroy my 2x2s. This is one like pinball rig, and this is one 2x2. He always attacks, and cat claws can do quite a bit of damage. What? What are you whining about? God, I haven't talked to Jones in a while. I think he got remarried. Yeah, the podcast was fun. I still have my idea for a new podcast. I wanted to make one called Gen Explained, which would be like Gen X people talking about stuff. Zafty Zwinga. Zwinga! Does feel like sometimes I'm gonna clean up controllers for people. It's like, oh, whatever. Great service. History of the World Part 2. I don't think I've seen Part 1. I thought there was only one movie that they made. What is this stuff? It smells like some sort of aromatic smoke. It's not pot. I don't know. See if I can remove this enough to get at the buttons. Gen X must be wild. Yeah, that's why I thought they should have always made a movie Revenge of the Jocks. You know, like a reverse Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. But I guess if they made it now, it'd have Pedro Pascal and Zendaya in it for some reason. Oh, it was for, yeah, because I remember like it was like History of the World Part 1 and there was never a Part 2, but you say it's on Netflix, huh? Let's just get rid of that. Hello, Netflix, you're greenlit. It's like, oh, is this catnip? No, bud. It's something else. Ooh. It looks like I did that folded cable thing. See how it's got a little bit of slack down there in the middle? Right down there. Oh, this is a weird one. The D-pad is weird. I wonder if this is one where they sent me this controller and then I was using parts for the newer controllers for it, so some of the parts are a little different. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That poor yellow-bellied guy died right in my arms. Oh yeah, this is a 2016 model controller. It's got different test points. Yeah, because in the newer ones, all the D-pad test points, there's an I2C expander right there. So, yeah, the test points are split out a little bit. Flight stick style controllers? No. Let me just do a sanity check here. Let's see. Server, projects, accessibility controllers. What would this be? July 2018. Okay, found my pattern. All right. Don't forget to bring a towel. Oh, it's now June. I don't think I have any crazy stories since the last time we streamed. Not much happens. No, come on. Yeah. Yeah, see, this one's got the newer PCB, so yeah, this PCB is newer than the controller. So this is like an old style controller made with newer parts. Definitely some particulate matter in there. Nest glove controllers. Yeah, we did a show episode of that. We turned it into like a mouse or something. Power Glove actually used ultrasonics. That's how it determined its position in space. Dogs coming running for the fresh taste of controller. You are a millennial, so you missed the 80s computers. You know, I'm probably kind of biased. Well, I mean, I know why I'm biased, but Because in the 80s, I was a child. But in the 90s, it's like I had a driver's license and, you know, jobs, and I, you know, didn't live at home. So, like for me, the 90s was, like, more memorable. But I suppose if I would have been born, like, 10 years earlier, I would have said the same thing about the 80s. Oh no, I do not like Nintendo, so I'm not excited about the Switch 2. I have a Switch. I played exactly 2 games on it, and I'm like, well, the reason I bought it was because I wanted to make one of these controllers for it. I made like 1 prototype, and that was it, and then I never got around to doing more. So it just sits there. So I don't think I need another one. What? Do you hate when I talk to people? Oh, I think it's more like greed doing its thing. Well, the other thing with it, like, everyone likes to bring up tariffs, but the Japanese yen has been garbage for years. The rumor was, like, the Switch 2 was done, like back in 2023, but they pushed it out, not because it wasn't ready, but because they were waiting for they wanted the yen to recover. That's the rumor, at least. Tariffs on game consoles. And the Master System is like, my day has come. Let's see. So, gotta make sure I get the right one. I don't think I need my drill. Oh yeah, the batteries of one of my drills went dead, so I took my other drill out to the garage because I was working on my greatest invention ever. Automatic cat food dispenser. I actually have the can opener mechanism working, so now I need to do like the thing that indexes the can cartridges into place, and then the ejector. So it'll probably end up kind of looking or being like a gun inside. There's a big pusher that goes like to open the can and then to pull the lid off. But then there's gonna be something. Then the cans have to like index up into place, and then they had to kick out. What is it? Are you a whiny Mew master? Do you want an automatic cat food dispenser? Yeah, I was a Nintendo fan probably up until, well, it really bugged me how the Game Boy Advance did not have a backlight. I thought that was so stupid. That was actually one of the things that made me build my first Atari Portable. Because I was, well, even before that, even like the Game Boy Color, I mean, they had backlit Game Boys, like that Japanese one. So it's like, why wasn't the Game Boy Color backlit? It's like, oh, we got all these colors and they all look like a muddy mess. And I remember I was at the theater watching The Green Mile, and I was like, wow, this movie sucks. Sorry, I did not like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Something about it I just did not like. And so I was sitting there in the theater bored, and I'm like, man, if only I had my Game Boy. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's not backlit. I couldn't even play it. So it actually kind of led into me making portables. Oh yeah, if you go to Japan, you can get like real KFC. It's like one of those chains that's better in other countries for some reason. Let's see. This one's got a mark, it looks like. Yeah. Do 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 do. Need 2 of these. Then I need a 3-banger wire. Bud, why don't you sit in your box? Oh, he's gonna sit on the floor, huh? That doesn't look very comfortable. And M1 when it ejects the cans. Yeah, that would be funny. And Bud would be like a Nazi. He'd be like, now it is time to strike. Bud, are you going to turn into a Nazi? Here. I'll be back, Bud. I'm back. Go to sleep, Bud. Well, no, you put the there's like a square cartridge. Then you put the cat food can into it, and it pulls off the lids, and then just pushes out the whole cartridge with the cat food in it. So he has to eat it out of the can. It's not ideal, but it's not meant to be like an everyday thing. It's meant to be like a, if I go away for the weekend thing. And that way I don't have to like bother someone to watch Bud if I'm just gone for 3 days. It's kind of the purpose behind it. Although I do miss when he had the auto dry food feeder, because I would have, one of the times it would go off would be like 7 a.m. So it would like distract Bud before he like would wake me up. That would be nice. Well, I hope it works as well as Doc's feeder. I finally invented something that works. I've spent the last 30 years and most of my family fortune developing this cat food feeder. I always wondered in that movie if the reason he aimed the DeLorean at himself was so that if it didn't go back in time, it would kill him. But then it would have killed Marty, too. I am not kid gloves, Mr. Valiant. This is how we handle things down in Toontown. Think you of all people would appreciate that. There's one day shoot, eh, boss? Alexa, how old is Kathleen Turner?
Kathleen Turner is 70 years old.
Ah, she's still alive. Great, you're alive. I suppose you think no one's going to notice Toontown's disappeared? I think about that movie every time I... Well, yeah, if I go to Spooky Pinball. So if I go to Spooky Pinball, because I live on the east side of Madison, so I have to drive the Beltline, and then I have to drive past Verona, so I actually drive past Epic Systems every time I go there. And Epic lady, Judy, she like paid to like redo this whole section of highway because she's like a billionaire. It's like the whole section from like the Beltline down to Verona Road, especially the part by the Beltline, is all redone to handle traffic going there, and I guess it's better, but it doesn't feel like it's that much better. So it always makes me think of traffic jams will be a thing of the past. Okay, if you want to be really pedantic, Kathleen Turner was the voice of Jessica Rabbit, but the singing voice of Jessica Rabbit was Amy Irving. Of Yentl fame. Alright, let's see. I should probably check these buttons while I have it open, although I doubt they're using them. They're not actually too bad. The DeLorean can't do 88. Well, yeah, it's just like a little crappy four-banger, isn't it? Didn't John DeLorean like get in trouble for like drug running or something? There was some scandal. Yeah, Amy Irving. Yep. Well, I guess that makes sense because Kathleen Turner was in Romancing the Stone, which was directed by Robert Zemeckis. Yeah, of course it would be a Cybertruck or a Tesla now. Marty, I'm sure in 2025... electric car chargers are available on every street corner. But here in 1985, they're a little hard to come by. Well, yeah, and then you could do the who's the president joke, because everyone knew. Yeah, everyone knew who that guy was back then. He was kind of like the default rich dude. Well, yeah, that's the thing about the '80s. Like, yeah, he was like the default rich dude back in the '80s before there was like Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos. I guess maybe Warren Buffett, who's also still alive. The Oracle of Berkshire. Okay, so we need to... this part might be a little tricky. Let's let that dry a bit. Oh yeah, the thunderstorm would start. It'd be like, I can't drive this in the rain. This is one problem, Doc. You can't drive Cybertrucks during a thunderstorm. Great Scott! Oh, Warren Buffett is finally retiring? He's probably like, I've made enough money. It's a vice. Yeah, that's a good one, Texic. Yeah, that's good. I suppose Michael Jackson is the Secretary of the Treasury. I know I've said this a million times, but if you took a teen from, well, I guess if you took a teen, well, it'd be 2025. Took a teen from 2025 and went back to 1995, they would still be way more of a fish out of water than Marty was in 1955. Marty, we gotta get your parents back together. Easy, Doc. We'll just hook them up on Tinder. Tinder, why is everything so flammable in the future? Great Scott! See, it writes itself. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Don't you have digital clocks? We have them now. Dun, dun, dun. Cybertruck. I gotta make sure I keep these separated, like Offspring. Why is everything so flammable in the future? And then Marty, or George McFly, becomes like a tech billionaire, but then he still lives in the same house for some reason. So just keep the same plot hole from the first movie. Why not? Hey, doesn't Warren Buffett like still live in his first house? Wow, we're really keeping these references tight. Degrassi, yeah. Or Bill Nye. See, if you showed, so Marty would obviously film the experiment with his, you know, with whatever company sponsored the phone. That would still be pretty impressive in 1995, but not as impressive as it would be to someone in 1985. I probably could do the terrorist subplot though. If I go back to 1985, I'd stay there. Yeah, be like Captain America, right? Captain America, you're back, and you turned into Joe Biden. I lived my full life. Now I'm somehow I knew to be on this park bench right now somehow. Now this one's the longest. That means it goes to B. So this one, yeah, just got to make sure these are in the right order. It's usually they're in a cable at this point. Pretty sure that's right, unless it's wrong. So who would be the band? Like who would be the Huey Lewis and the News in the new one? See, I would make it where like Marty doesn't have a girlfriend, and he learns about like talking to women by going in the past. Or maybe Marty's a girl. Well, no. You can't make Marty a girl because if you have a dad falling in love with their daughter, it's way grosser for some reason. Mayor Goldie? I don't know. Whatever. For some reason, when I watched Back to the Future, I always thought I always thought the mayor became the bum for some reason, even though he's not. Okay, so that's the red marked one. Let me get my thing here. The order is the same, so that's right, which is TP14. Right there. Not where I left you. You're the pirate they're looking for. It is true, I am a pirate. Still Huey Lewis. Yeah, just like if you made a... it's like, we're going to remake Romancing the Stone. Who's the modern day equivalent of Danny DeVito? I guess it's Danny DeVito. I'm stealing this stone. I'm not trying to romance it out from under her. Then I start blasting. Just the pussy I was looking for. Man, I wish I liked that movie better, but I don't. Okay, right up. So up is TP16, so that's back here. That is that guy. Closer in here. So yeah, this is the 2017 model Bluetooth controller. So obviously this is not what I use anymore since this is no longer made. He was the actual Jewel of the Nile. Yeah. The real Jewel of the Nile was me. That was another sequel I just couldn't get into. I don't know why. I think... Oh, man. Oh, man, that heat definitely brings out the flavor of this controller. Okay, so next one is down, which is TP17. So this one goes over here. Guess that's why it's a little longer. Do 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 do. A favorite Xbox controller? What do you mean, for like just one that's easy to work on? Probably like the 2013 original Xbox One model controller. That one didn't have the I/O expander, so it had two of these connectors. So they actually, to cost reduce, instead of having two of these connectors, like one, two, they added the I/O expander, so they could just use two. They use I2C line to transmit the data. I mean, it's I2C is kind of slow, but it's still it's still like 8 times faster than your game engine would ever be. You know, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. It probably is more like incense, which is why there's all the particulates around it, because smoking wouldn't cause these large particulates. Okay, let's make sure I got this one right. So the short one here is TP is ground. Looks like I got a ground right there. Happy little grounds. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one goes to here. So underground is Y, which is probably this one, which is why this one is longest, and that is TP23. Yeah, see this TP23 here, it's a little bit more clustered, so it's a little harder to get at, and by that I mean it's harder to not solder other things. See how I bias the wire down? Yeah, using the memory of the wire is useful. That makes me think of something that Karen and I actually agreed on. I don't know why I came up one day. She's like, who's that black British actor that everyone likes for some reason? And I'm like, Idris Elba? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. The Wire is a good show, though. Okay, so this is A. I thought he was good. That second Suicide Squad movie, where the one that James Gunn directed. I thought he was good in that because he actually didn't act like Idris Elba for once. Kind of act like a crazy guy. It was like, wow, he's got range. Okay, and then X is TP22. Yeah, when they did the Xbox Core controller, the 2020 model, these test points all have the same numbers. So that was nice versus Sony, who changes everything like every year. Sony's addicted to hardware design. Oh, hey, Duty, how's it going? Wow, $5, thanks. It's not a pay stream, but I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, I mean, I have to pay my bills. My electric bill, my internet bill. I think this could use a little bit more loving here. There we go. Haven't had to get my peepers out yet. He was in, oh yeah, he was like the ship's captain in Prometheus, right? And he hooks up with Charlize Theron. Yeah. Forgot he was in that. You know, another movie that had everybody in it was that Mars movie where what's his face is Matt Damon is like stuck on Mars. Like everybody was in that movie. Well, resoldering this obviously took some time, but I wanted to make sure that it was right. Okay, so let's see. RB, oh, right bumper. Okay, so we just split this one here. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna get this working, and then I might do like, well, I'm just like want to reclaim some screws on one of my projects. I think on Rev 1 of my film scanner. You know, I got to be like Mad Max. I got to like, and I'm not going to throw away screws. That's not cool. I rewatched my last favorite Hollywood movie ever made the other day, Fury Road. Still the best. My humorous rhetoric. Oh, thank you, Retire Inspired. Yeah, The Martian. Yeah. Yeah, a ton of people in that movie. Let's see if I can remember them all. Jeff Daniels was in it. Kristen Wiig. What's her face? Before she was like more famous, Mackenzie Davis, and one of the Mara sisters, the Kate Mara. Yeah, whatever happened to her? She was in it, and of course, Matt Damon. Jessica Chastain was in it. She's like, oh man, I just can't get enough. I gotta make more space movies. I'm just jonesing to make space movies. Still not sure how we would solve the lack of magnetosphere issue with Mars. Apparently it had one at one point, but it was probably millions of years in the past. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe the only reason we have one is because theoretically the moon hit us. What do they call what was the name of the moon if it was a planet? It was like Theus or something? The large impact theory. Maybe that's what spun up our electromagnetic core, because Venus doesn't have one, Mars doesn't have one. And without that, we're all dead. I've never watched the black and white version of Fury Road. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I should buy it, because I love that movie so much. Didn't they call it like the black and chrome edition or something? I don't know. You know what I love about the movie? There's basically no plot. It's exactly 2 hours long. It's just nothing but chase scenes. It's great. I love it. And it's so freaking good. It just gets like so... Well, I'm sure you've all seen it. But like near the end of the movie, like whenever he's like hanging off the side of the truck, and then that guy stabs Charlize Theron in her kidney, and then they're starting to grab the brides, and like everything's going bad. Like it's the lowest point, but it's a very short part of the film. But God, it's great. Yeah, I saw Furiosa in the theater. I would agree. It's not nearly as good. It's too long for one thing. And also, it felt like they were trying to Rogue One Fury Road, where it's like, oh, I bet you wondered how the brides got into the truck. No, I never wondered that, because that's not important. Who cares? Okay, Wee Man. Oh, hey, Steven. Okay, you may not believe this. I've only seen 2 Fast and the Furious movies. I've seen number 1 and number 5. So I haven't seen Tokyo Drift. Sorry. Limiting time outside. Oh, so if they're indoors, they could be kind of like in a Faraday cage, so to speak, to limit like electromagnetic radiation from the sun. Isn't it also, if we go to Mars, we basically have to build the fuel to get back, or is the idea that they just like ship a bunch of fuel and put it into orbit? Because I think, well, maybe that is what they're trying to do with Starship, but I would think if you could put as much of it into orbit as possible, then you'd already have, your orbit velocity, which means you'd only have to boost from that without escaping. Well, yeah, because you've already used the fuel to get into orbit, so yeah, you could use that initial velocity to go to Mars. I don't know exactly how that works. How did Furiosa lose her hand? I was always wondering that. It's very important. Let's see. This one, I'm going to replace. This one's pretty worn down. This D-pad's worn out. Need a new one? Let's see. So we have robots make the fuel. That sounds fairly complicated. I mean, it'd be easier to launch off Mars because it's only like, what, 60% of our mass? Well, yeah, but then you'd have to also get back to Earth. And you don't have any other bodies to sling around. And it's also harder to shoot stuff into the middle of the solar system than out. Because you have to, like, deal with the sun. That's why, like, Venus and especially Mercury missions are more difficult. Mercury the planet, not Mercury the space program. Hank living in Saudi Arabia? I did not know that was the plot. I never watched that show, so I guess I really have no feelings about a reboot. But I did hear that they were bringing it back to Hulu. Saudi Arabia. I don't think... Does Saudi Arabia even care about natural gas? I wouldn't think they would. Oh, I'm sorry. Propane. it's different. I guess you'd also, well, yeah, I guess the motivation to go to Mars would be to get there before the Chinese. It's always what it is. I always think about, like, if you think about, like, the cost of the Apollo, the whole Apollo program, even adjusting for inflation, it doesn't sound like all that much money compared to nowadays. I want to say it was like 135 billion. Well, probably less now, inflation adjusted. It's like the government just spent that while I was saying 135 billion. Or back then it was like 30 billion or something. Well, usually I build single-headed controllers on my Monday night streams. In this case, I'm repairing one. And it has a lot of incense residue on it. I guess it smells good. I mean, I don't know, it smells like incense. I should probably test this before I go any further. Actually, isn't propane a byproduct of oil refinement, if I'm not mistaken? Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. A, B, X, Y, okay. R3, RB, left B, up, down, left, right. Okay, I got that right. Analog sticks are still good. Yeah, still good. Space Force. Because all Space Force cares about is blowing shit up. Putting guns in space. Oh crap, I forgot to put in most of those screws. Well, I'll do it now. I think I watched a couple episodes of Space Force, but I couldn't get into it. Oil. If there was oil on Mars, we'd be there already. I mean, I guess there could be oil on Mars. Well, wait. Didn't Mars have actually have an atmosphere in the past, or an atmosphere that was like actually like, you know, something decent? I don't think plants could grow if you didn't have a means of transmitting CO2 for them to eat. Mad Max Beyond Mars. I'll get that oil tanker for ya. He exists now only in my memory. Well, yeah, if it had a magnetosphere in the past and an atmosphere in the past, if the magnetosphere, well, when the magnetosphere died out, then yeah, then it would have lost its atmosphere. So it would have been like a 1-2 punch. Well, also, again, there's also way less gravity than the Earth, so that would have also made the atmosphere less conducive. Well, I mean, it still could have had one. Well, yeah, well, if you look at Venus, like, obviously Venus has like a mega atmosphere, but Venus also has a very similar mass to Earth. But yeah, Venus would have way more solar radiation than Mars, obviously. I always thought Venus would be an interesting setting for like a sci-fi movie. Like, the twist ending would be like there was a civilization there like 1,000,000 years ago, but the greenhouse gases went out of control and became the hellscape that it is today. You know, that'd be a good twist ending. I think we're quite a ways off from like terraforming Mars. I mean, even if you like pulled a Total Recall and, you know, somehow extracted all the oxygen from the ice, I mean, that would require like insane amounts of energy. Well, yeah, Venus isn't very far away. It's pretty close, actually. That's why it's the brightest object in the sky. I better double check this. Okay, looks good. Well, yeah, you wouldn't just melt the ice. You'd also have to perform electrolysis on it. So yeah, you'd be talking about insane amounts of energy. Oh, I know, let's just nuke it. Then can humans? Well, I suppose humans could survive in an. Yeah, they could survive in an all oxygen atmosphere. Of course they could. Michael Jackson did. What mic audio interface? I'm just using my. I just have this 4K Handycam. It's a Sony FDR AX553. So yeah, you're just hearing the. It's just the microphone on the camera. It's very rinky-dink. The moon was a spaceship. Oh well, you know, some people think the moon is a spaceship, or you know, all the hollow moon theories. I don't know. I don't know. I think the great impact theory is. I think it's interesting. I mean, it could just be a statistical anomaly, but you know, the moon is very weird compared to like other moons, and it could. Not the spaceship thing, but I mean like the impact theory could explain a lot, like our planet's strange rotational tilt. And also maybe even life, like seasons create more diversity. The tides, you know what? You know, maybe something didn't crawl out of the ocean. Maybe it got left behind in the tide, and then it's like, well, I guess I better grow legs. Also, the moon sucks up a lot of asteroids that don't hit us, which means life could evolve, have a better chance to evolve. It's like the guardian of the sky / galaxy, guardian of the planet, guardian of the planetary system. Well, like, let's say for some reason, like, the moon made life more likely to happen here. So then if it requires, well, I mean, this is a bit short-sighted, but like, let's say, just in our case, if it requires an interplanetary collision, that would be very, 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 very rare. So, I don't know. Maybe in our situation, life is more rare than we think it is. I mean, it's still too statistically obvious that there would be other life somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe it makes Earth more special than we even think. I mean, again, across trillions of planets, you know, it would happen millions of times, but still, well, maybe not millions of times. Well, yeah, it would be like a 1 in a million chance would happen millions of times. Oh, God, there's probably more than 1 trillion planets out there. All right, this should be good. Yeah, retire inspired. I started doing these. So these mods are for people that only have one hand to use their controller with. I started doing this back in 2006. Someone like lost an arm in the Iraq War. And then they emailed me and they're like, "Oh, I don't have 2 arms anymore. I can't play my Xbox." And I was like, "Oh, I never thought about that." So I made a prototype for that guy. And then I put it on my website. Then if the usual thing happens where more people are like, oh, you build me one. And so I've done this many hundreds of times now over the last, oh, for crying out loud, almost 19 years. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's cool. Retired. Yeah, it's one of those things like you never really think about until someone brings it up, because obviously it's kind of like people who have a stroke and then they find out, oh my God, it's really difficult to tie your shoes. Like you don't think about how much manual dexterity it actually takes, because you just you do it on autopilot. So yeah. So yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Yeah, this is a slightly older model, but what also happens is there's these, this one doesn't have it, but usually there's a lower piece, and this goes down here, and there's another analog stick down here, and you actually have it against your leg, and so you move the whole controller against your leg, and that's how you do the other analog stick. But this person, I think they obviously they just wanted this, so this is what I built. But then their dog chewed on it, so I'm fixing it for them. Oh, they do make them. Microsoft had one like in 2018. I think they called it the Access Controllers. I don't know, they called it something. And then Sony made one recently, and then Microsoft made a new one. They usually make them like really modular, maybe almost too modular. So you get like this base box, and then you plug all these things into it. Because usually the standard for like accessibility is that you just have like a like a 3mm headphone jack mono, and you'll just plug in one of those for every button. But some of the feedback I got over the years was like, you have to plug so much crap into the Xbox One that they have, the controller that they have, it makes it kind of like overly complicated. I have one around here someplace, I think. Or did I give it away? I can't remember. Walmart. Oh, is that why they said Walmart was canceling orders? So Walmart was acting like an airline. It's like, oh, we sold too many seats. Oh, I gotta check the analog stick. I'm a rear trigger. I think Microsoft is actually one of the least evil giant corporations. I mean, still evil, but... Yay! This is probably one where it's probably... I don't know how many repairs it has left. I mean, usually after a certain amount of time, I just tell them to buy a new one. Not because I'm trying to like make more money. It's more like, this one wasn't too bad. What was this? Hour 20 minutes. Like, there's definitely been times where like I'll spend more time fixing one than it would take to just build a new one. Right, bud? You want some bearings? Delicious bearings. Here, become a movie maker. Oh. Well, again, the rumor was Nintendo was holding off releasing it because they're waiting for the yen to recover. Because, you know, we hear about, like, you know, our financial issues and how much of it is glossed over, but, like, every other country is having issues as well. Just like every other country has inflation, as they like to say. So, yeah, like the yen has not been having a good run. So part of that is you're paying for the fact that the yen is weak. Mostly altruistic. Mostly. Yeah, I usually fix these things for free unless they're like really old or catastrophically damaged. Because sometimes I'll be like, you know, well, like I said, I'm like, you know what? I'll be like, it'll take me longer to fix this than it will be to make a new one, and then the new one will last longer anyway. Yeah, that's a very good point, Commodore fan. Why does it cost less in Japan? Yes. All right. Let's see. Got one other thing I can work on, and then I'll probably bounce. I'm covering the screws from version 1 of my film scanner. I want to be like the pioneer people who burned down their houses to get the nails. Let's see. This one was like way... I had like this... to aim the microscope, I had all these... Well, you can see what I did. Way overcomplicated. The new one is just fixed position and it works fine. Well, actually, it does use wing nuts, but it's way simplified how the wing nuts work. There's like this part, the cone. The cone has 2 flanges on the side, and then there's wing nuts, so you can move this left and right a little bit. And then the back of the mount here, there's 2 wing nuts, but it's a vertical. So basically, you can use this to adjust the horizontal a little bit, and then use this to adjust the vertical a little bit. But it's a lot simpler than this. It's also less pieces. I am putting those files on my GitHub. I think it's under Ben's Super Scanner. So if for some reason you want to build your own Super 8 Super Scanner, I'm slowly putting the parts online. I was actually working on the code more yesterday. This should just come off. Yeah. That was a left-handed controller, but again, it didn't have all of the features because the person was like, "Well, I don't need the secondary analog moved. I just need most of the face buttons on the left." So it was like 80% of what I usually do to a controller. Geez, got enough wing nuts on this? Jeez. Oh, well, one of the many... Well, there's many reasons I redesigned this, but... this one was, like, metric and English. And... I don't have, like, a bias against either, really, because it's just numbers in the end. But I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to have this be... If I have this be something that people can, like, build themselves, then I got to make sure everything is the same system. So the new one's all metric. What do I think about the Xbox Series S? You know, actually, I bought one. I was going to make it into a portable, but I never finished it. I mean, they still make games that run on it. I kind of feel sorry for devs that have to like make games work on it. But I mean, well, did they raise the price of that one too? Because that one was like $300. Like, actually, $300 even in 2020 for a quote unquote next gen console. That's actually pretty reasonable. I mean, that's like what, like $150 less than the Switch 2, which is probably less powerful. How did I... Hey, I can't save them all. Ah. Did I use the forbidden jelly? Bud, do you want some forbidden jelly? This one was just well, this one was way too complicated, but not in a useful way. That'd be my issue with it. Oh god, oh no, lock nuts. Jeez, how did I even do this? Must have been a pain in the butt. When did I build this one? This was, I can't remember. Well, the microscope sled, this part, I built this like September or August, so that's kind of old. This shit is supposed to come apart. Oh yeah, don't they have Steam OS? Hey, you know, if Linux could ever make it so like using drivers wasn't a pain in the butt, I think they've got to make that a lot smoother before people will jump. I was working on a project recently. Yeah, I know. I always say that. So this is for pinball development. So what I'll do is I'll have like a bunch of keyboard presses and Unity. So it's like you press a key and it'll start a mode or run a test or set something, you know. But a lot of times like you're playing the game when you do that. So I was like, it'd be really cool if I had voice control for this. So I had this I think I had a Raspberry Pi 4 laying around, and I'm like, okay, well, I could use this. So well, that was another thing. Oh, yeah, with this project, it was like, oh, okay, so this project uses, this feels like it does have Forbidden Jelly on it. This project uses, so it'd be the Raspberry Pi, oh, this has got to have Forbidden Jelly on it. It's like Raspberry Pi 4, but then if you use the Raspberry Pi 5, then the libcamera libraries, it didn't have something for Python, so then I was like, screw it, and then I just rewrote everything in C++ on a Raspberry Pi 5, because OpenCV is C++, so the fact that the wrappers didn't work with libcamera, because they had like Raspicam in the older versions of their OS, and then they changed it to libcamera. So that's what I used a Raspberry Pi. So I had a Raspberry Pi 4 laying around. And so I was like, okay, well, I could use this as a voice recognition terminal, and then I could use TCP/IP to send debug commands to Unity, because I already used TCP/IP on Unity for sending like just debug information. It's like this app that I made. Oh yeah, there is Forbidden Jelly on this. So man, I tried I think I tried like 3 different voice command things, and then there was all these dependency issues, blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, okay, this is dumb. And like last week, I was working on it again. And I was like, okay, well this time, because when I dev, I always dev on Windows, and then I just compile to Linux to make the releases, or what Spooky uses. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set up this voice command thing on Windows. So I downloaded Vosk and the Small English Model library, and then Vosk uses Python, and I think what did I do? There was an issue with like the version of Python, like I think the first one I tried, it wanted 3.10 and I had 3.12. Because I do have some Python scripts that I made for like, mostly for like let's say the ball drains, right? And there's like 40 different things Bruce Campbell might say. So I get all the voice clips. And somebody, not me thankfully, cut them up and did the normalization from the recording. So then I'll get like, it's usually like 3 takes of every line. So I'll go through and I'll be like, okay, well, which take is best? Then let's say there's like I said, 40 lines, but they're all for the same event, like ball drain. So there's some randomizers in there as well. But so what I'll do is I'll take all those disparate things and then it's kind of like a long, boring explanation, isn't it? So basically, Python will rename everything in the folder, so all the different lines have the same like prefix, like ball underscore drained underscore 0. Or if it's profane, it'll be like ball underscore drained hyphen 21. These nice little 3-inch rods, and they came. I think I can't remember where I got these, but yeah, they're not cut on the ends. But the problem is the forbidden jelly is kind of jamming them up. Anyway, I was using Vosk, and I got it up and running pretty quickly. And yeah, and I'm like, wow, that was so much faster than trying to do this on Raspberry Pi. Well, this one's loose. Well, you know why Nintendo is doing those key card things is because that way they can charge full price and not have to pay for a flash RAM or flash EEPROM. That way they can say, "Oh, look, it's a physical copy," but it isn't. It's just a crypto key. And you know full well that's why they had that remote kill switch, is because they know people are going to break those crypto keys. Oh, it'll be very hard to do this. Challenge accepted. Maybe I'll do these when I'm really, really bored. Alright, where's the rest of this? Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, these are size 6. With an unthreaded spacers. The spacers are expensive. So I don't even use these on the new version. There's just a 3.5mm hole on the new one, and they rotate just fine. This screw is now worthless. Oh yeah, check. This is so overdone. It's got microfiber cloth wrapped around it, and there's a slit that it tucks into. I still do that on the new one. Just no spacers. All right. I guess you have to have physical copies so you could make like Metal Jesus Rocks happy. But I don't know. It's like at this point, they just make it. Well, I guess backwards compatibility with the Switch 1 is good. I need a thicker one. Oh no, my magnet came loose. I'm a loser. Well, anyway, I got the program so I could be like, press start, press H, start kitchen mode, and it worked. It's not instantaneous, but it's pretty decent. It's probably like a second of lag. I think the big thing is it waits for you to stop talking before it actually produces any packets. So that's probably part of the lag. But you can say like press I and it will be press I. It won't be like press I as an eyeball. This one's also obsolete. These are useless. Just throw it all away. Oh, let me see. We want to keep this so I can build my Mad Max mobile. I'll get that tanker for you. Dude, Mel Gibson's nuts. You want to torture me, huh? They don't have Hall effect sensors on the Switch 2. So, isn't there some drop-in analog stick Hall effect sensor thing now? I should buy some. Look at this. This is way too much hardware. Look at all this crap. Oh god, this is that silk filament. This stuff never prints well. I just printed it because I had it. It's like, okay, what do I not care about this? All right, print it in silk. Yeah, the July release. There's going to be the part in Evil Dead 2 where his hand beats him up in the kitchen. Actually, I was working on that just today. It's actually, so the right-hand side of the game has, how did I get those in there? The right-hand side of the game has two flipper buttons. There's a right flipper button, and there's an extra flipper button, which does the sling flipper. So in the single-handed kitchen fight, because of course, it's going to be kind of like this, where you play that mode with just your right hand, because there's two buttons on the right-hand side. So the regular right flipper button and then the extra flipper button on the right side does the left flipper button. So the idea is you play the mode with one hand as the hand beats up Bruce. And then I made it so the mode is like you are the hand. So on the screen there's like Bruce's life bar. And you have to knock it down to 0 to get to the next phase. Oh god. We actually didn't get very much license or pushback at all on that. I mean, the whole game, so I guess I shouldn't jinx it. Corwin told me, like, because the Evil Dead 1 stuff had to go through Sam Raimi, and his main top things were, like, having the right kind of sinew on arms, and then the car. He was like wanted to make sure the car was portrayed correctly, because you know that Delta 88 is obviously the most amazing car ever. Get a load of the 21st century. This didn't work as perfectly as I had hoped. I think most of these stayed in place. That attaches to the wall with a magnet, of course. No, I'm a very open Nintendo hater. I will not be buying the Switch 2. My Switch 1 is covered with a thick layer of dust. I use my Xbox Series X far more as a comparison. Oh, am I completely out of the larger blades? There's only gonna be one blade. It's a weird box. Yeah, there used to be a Hobby Lobby on the south side of Madison, but it moved to West Town where the yuppie people live. It's like, oh no, I have to drive 10 minutes to Hobby Lobby. Oh no. Ooh, I'll be right back. Bud, are you sleeping peacefully? Bud is a cat of peace. Well, because Hall Effect Joy-Cons would cost more money, so Nintendo's not going to do it. Even though they charged, what are the Joy-Cons, like what, $80 now or something ridiculous? Oh, well, I think I'm going to head out for the night because that is done. I think I talked about this last week, but from my examinations, what fails is the carbon ring inside the potentiometer. So it's not a mechanical issue. It's just this carbon. It kind of almost like liquefies or gums up. But the thing is, they've been making sticks like this for like. These worked fine for 20 years until like around 2018. So Alps, I guarantee Alps like make something cheaper. They know damn well that it's a problem, but if they ever admitted it, it would be a huge class action lawsuit. Well, no, because I don't know where the one went, but because I had I bought an Xbox. I bought a Series X, terrible name, in 2022, and I think the first game I played was Elden Ring, and I got about 70 hours in, and I got stick drift on the brand new controller. So it was not even a year. I think I'm still playing the game. So it was like. And so I took it. I think I might have done a stream about it or a video. I took it apart, and that's when I noticed the difference in. And it was only one of the axes, and the other axes looked okay. But yeah, it's something with the carbon on modern controllers because they've been built like that forever. There was one model of the PlayStation 3 controller that used something like a Hall Effect sensor. Kind of. They used like a. I don't know how it worked, but they had like a trace pattern that did the same thing, and then a special TI chip in it that. So there was like maybe like 25% of the PlayStation 3 controllers actually had something like that way back in the day. But yeah. Day-Ben. I once was a boy, but now I'm a man. Your boy awaits. Hey, another Danny DeVito reference. Can't get enough. Gotta pay the toll troll to get in the little boy's hole. You gotta pay the toll troll to get in. All right, and with that, I think I'm going to bounce for the night. But yeah, maybe we'll see you next week and stuff. And eventually I'll make a boy's soul. Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. Say goodbye, bud. Bud, wake up and say goodbye. Or go back to sleep.